they needed to figure out what it was before anyone was allowed to move forward or leave the area. It turned out that someone was going through radiation therapy, but I found that really interesting to learn that they have those type of security things that they don't just advertise even to all staff.
Of course, the White House is not only the chief executive's home and office. It is also a command center for nearly 1,700 employees who come to work there every day. But before anyone works for the president or his family, they must be cleared through a background check known as Yankee White.
Everybody who gets cleared into the White House permanently as a regular thing has to go through a secret security clearance process to look into your background and so on.
When I first was asked to be an intern, we were told to fill out a form called an SF-86, which basically is where they ask you every single little detail about your life, more than you ever could remember, and you're going through old pictures, old notes, being like, oh my gosh, what was that address 10 years ago? And oh, what date did I go on that trip? And then the FBI goes around and investigates to make sure everything on that SF-86 is accurate and true. They interview your friends, your family, your neighbors, your old bosses to make sure that they know every single thing about you.
But once employed, can the White House staff and personnel go anywhere within the building? Or are there secrets so highly prized and highly guarded that only a handful of the most trusted employees can have access to them?
There are pins that people use that have on their lapels, in addition to the badges that people might see on TV images. The pins are the most prized because you can get the close access is the family badge, where you can get pretty much all the access. That's what the First Lady would wear those, the children, and so on, and some very senior staff members.
But if White House employees are so thoroughly checked and monitored, how do visitors and members of the public get in? How hard is it to visit the White House? And what kind of security is required to protect the world's most powerful person? While the White House serves as the private home of one of the world's most highly guarded families, it is also the only residence of a head of state that is open to the public. And although security at the executive mansion has tightened over the years, interest in visiting 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has existed for centuries.
If there was a passage in America's Book of Secrets on the White House, it probably would deal with the security there, because it used to be that it was thought of as the people's house. Presidents years ago would entertain everyday people who could just walk to the White House, get in, and talk to the president.
Souvenir hunting has been a problem at the White House over the 2 centuries of its existence. After Lincoln's second inaugural, there were people cutting the crimson curtains. They must have come armed with pocket knives and things like that. Pieces of carpet were cut. It was just pillaged.
Believe it or not, even famous celebrities have shown up at the White House uninvited. On December 21st, 1970, Elvis Presley appeared at the gates, asking to see President Nixon. And although the rock and roll dignitary known as the King was welcomed in, his visit was very much kept under wraps.
It was all done secretly because Nixon didn't want to let the public know that he was seeing Elvis. Like everybody else, Nixon was enamored with Elvis and his songs, and at the same time, he thought it would be embarrassing if the public knew that he had an interest in meeting Elvis Presley.
But for the thousands who visit the White House each year,